there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there as a community. We can talk about all the things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at Akira, a gateway to many anime lovers. I'm not sure when this actually was released in America, but it was released in Japan in 1988. The story is about really these two boys, Kanata and Tetsuo. They're in this biker gang, and it opens up with them fighting a rival gang, the Clowns, or something. I can't remember. But at the same time, alright, let me back up just a little bit. So this takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, 2019, if I remember correctly. Because it opens up with 88, there's like what you think is like an atomic bomb going off and just destroying everything. And then it's 30 years later, they're in Neo-Tokyo. The government's huge and fascistic, and the people don't like it, and so you have revolutionaries and protesters and rioters, and the city just looks like garbage because, well, it's ran by big government and the people don't like it. So with the kids in the gang, the big government, what's going on in the background is that the government has been doing experiments on 3 children, and you don't quite know the age of them, and it's weird to watch them because they just look like really short old people, and it's because of the experiments, that's why they look that way. But one of them is being, I guess, rescued by a person in one of many resistances. These kids all have abilities, like they can teleport to where they need to go, they can use telekinesis, telepathy, all kinds of stuff like that, and yet somehow they keep on getting captured and imprisoned. They were experimented upon because of the source of the blast you see in the beginning of the movie was Akira, another child. And they don't really go into much detail of how the powers work per se, where they come from. It's just that Akira appeared, caused a whole bunch of chaos 30 years ago. They've been trying to replicate that and control that energy ever since then. So the way everything ties together, by the end of the gang fight, Kanata and Tetsuo's gang are gathered together, and there's the one kid that just wanders into the place. Well, the government's been tracking the kid, and they come in and bring him back. I got one part of that wrong. They're not meeting up again. They were just finishing the fight, and Tetsuo was knocked unconscious by one of the rival gang members. And because of that, I think I'm still getting that wrong, but Tetsuo was unconscious, and the government takes the one kid and Tetsuo away with them, and they experiment on Tetsuo. And they're finding a lot of unusual things about him. He escapes once. He doesn't quite know what's going on, but he has this migraine. He keeps on hearing this Akira going through his head. He's just going crazy over it, and he's getting all these visions and everything. And slowly but surely his powers build and build and build, where he becomes a huge problem. And that's where I'm going to leave it there. This movie does a good job of scaling up in how crazy it can get. It starts you off with seemingly normal, or whatever normal is in a post-apocalyptic world, and it just slowly builds and builds and builds until it's like, what am I watching? This is insane. And it leaves you questioning what just happened. I don't know if there's any more lore to this world, or if there's a sequel. I don't think there was a sequel. I'm pretty sure this is the 30th anniversary edition that came out on 4K. This is what I got as. I definitely get the story now as an adult. When I first watched it as a kid, I was like, what? How does this all work? I understand it a whole lot better. The story really doesn't explain the powers and everything and the origins of Akira. The story itself is asking the question, like, what is this energy and how could it be used or controlled? Stuff like that. And it does a good job of that. As a whole, I did enjoy the movie. I don't think it's nearly as big as it was built up back when it was huge in like the early 2000s. I think it was only huge because, well, it's a rated R animation. And there's a lot of things in here that you would never see in animation in America. Well, not a whole lot of. There's very little animation like this. It's very sparse. In Japan, animation is for kids and adults, and so you'll see like everything. I think in the early 2000s, nothing was really seen like that over here, and it just blew everyone's mind, and they loved it, and they wanted to see more anime like that, and so they did. But me as like I think a 14-year-old kid, 16, something like that, I watched it, was like, what? And I've already been watching Dragon Ball Z, Big O, Gundam Wing, stuff like that. I was still like, what? So it wasn't, but I do enjoy it now, and I'm glad I have it. I suggest you go get get the 4K collection edition out there. If you have seen Akira, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. When did you watch it? When it came out? I mean, I guess you could have gotten it back in '88. That would be really cool to hear a story if you saw it back then. And if you somehow are an American or somewhere in the West that got your hands on the movie, like a VHS or something, what your thoughts were and are now. Did you watch it in the early 2000s? Was it like your gateway into anime, or was it like you've already started watching anime like me and you watched it? What are your thoughts after that? Just let me know in the comments below. If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and live your imagination.